everybody. Hello. Hiya. Welcome to Radcliffe Revival. I guess tonight we need to make some decisions in terms of organisation. Who's doing what and what we're doing. Because unless we get organised, we're not going to be able to do anything. So, we've not really got any strategy for tonight. If anybody's got any ideas, big thinking, and want to debate anything, just tell us and we'll do it. Okay, yeah, exactly. Right, okay, so the first thing we need to do, we need a leadership committee. In my opinion, we probably need 5 on it, so we can make some majority decisions, and it's not like a stalemate. I need to know who wants to be on it. So is there anybody who would like to be on it?
What is it that you want to achieve?
Yeah, well, yeah.
If we know what you want to do, we might know whether we want to.
Okay. Right, so the Radcliffe Revival was set up for the primary objective to sort Radcliffe out and get it in a better state than it is at the minute. Because at the minute it's a disgrace. Various try to centralise everything. There's no money coming into the place. All they're trying to do is build houses, which is absolutely falling. You know, even the school they were supposed to put up, the money disappeared. I believe it went to Derby Eye. And they're putting houses there instead now. Radcliffe's got a town of 34,000 people. How can a town of 34,000 not have a school? Maybe you have 2. It's not got a civic hall. I think they're trying to make the market the civic hall. It's a joke. But at the same time, with not having any schools, you're splitting the communities up. Because kids aren't talking to other kids who might even live next door to each other, because they're all going different places. It's a disgrace. How can that be right? It's ridiculous. So the other objective is to put the community back together. So yes, we need a leadership team, and we need people to make decisions and say, yes, this is going to happen, that and that's going to happen. But we also need to involve the community in everything that we do. And we need to get everybody behind us, because if we don't, we're not going to achieve anything. It's absolutely about community. So we will need a leadership team, we'll need activists, people who go out there and give people leaflets, or give people posters, or give people car stickers, so people have an understanding of we're actually here. But then we're going to need to be fully on board with all the social media, because we're going to need to try and get the kids involved as well. And that's going to be difficult, because half the kids, most of the kids, won't understand what Radcliffe was. I mean, you think about it, there was 1,200 people that worked at East Lancs. That's gone. 1,200 people that used to inhabit the town centre every dinner time. You know? Then you've got the James Street pavement, that's gone. You've got tree meters, they've gone. There's all sorts of halls have gone. When you take all that away, then people don't start, don't talk to one another.
It's like you said at the beginning, where you said all they want to do is centralise things.
Yeah.
Because all they're bothered about, if they see a bit of land, let's sell that land and plant houses on it.
Yeah.
I've said this for donkey's years, and people that I've spoken to, they've turned around and said, that's all the council want to do. Yeah. So that in the end, Radcliffe will be an estate. It'll lose its town, it'll lose its bank, everything, and it will just be an estate.
Yeah.
And then
it's just a commuter belt.
Yeah.
That's
but it'll be Bury will become, let's say, maybe a city, and then Radcliffe, Prestwich, Ramsgate, behind it, they'll all become with an estate within the city. Yeah. If you can understand what I mean.
What we're turning into is in fact a feed of Bury. We're a feed of Bury.
Yeah. No, I don't want that. What I want is Radcliffe back, where it's got a fair share of everything that's going on, because it doesn't seem like that. All I can see is that there's houses and houses. There's no industry. There's no schools. You go to work in the morning, and it can take me 40 minutes to go to Lakewood. It's taking me 1.5 hours one day to get from Hayward to Hartlepool. There's one way in the Radcliffe and one way out. What happened to the bypass that was supposed to come there? I think we all knew that happened. Oh well, we'll put it the other side of the centre of Radcliffe, and they said centre of Radcliffe's dead. It was dead before that.
They could turn Radcliffe into a long-way system.
Yeah, but that's in there. Yeah, that's in there. The fact is that Bury have drained everything out of Radcliffe, and we're just basically an housing estate like you said. That's
what it seems like to me.
But we can't carry on like that.
Well, there needs to be some more investment in the infrastructure, the roads as well.
Yeah.
I mean, the roads aren't wide enough really to be taking the traffic that's going through Radcliffe. That's why we're having traffic jams and everything, because the roads just aren't wide enough, are they?
No.
They should have thought about building the roads or making the roads wider before they carry on, keep building more houses. There's just no infrastructure at all. The one thing that really annoyed me, and I objected to it at the time, and it's very in close proximity to where I live, the crematorium. I was dead against, we pardon the pun, having the crematorium. And I moved house and moved slightly in a slightly different direction, but still on that estate. But I'm not directly at the cemetery gates anymore. But they shouldn't have been building a crematorium, creating all that extra traffic when they've not got a road system, because that's creating, and it just gets worse. And it gets Christmas times, anniversary times, where there's more people visiting. That estate gets very, very busy on that road, on Greenbank Road. And
that's because they blocked Cemetery Road up.
Yeah.
If they hadn't blocked Cemetery Road up, you'd have still got a lot of traffic going home, as well as the people wanting to go and empty any rubbish that they had, taking it to Dano.
Yeah.
So, but what they've done, they've gone round the estate.
Yeah. I mean, it's the only, I've saw somebody else said this to me. He said they've never known a crematorium be in the middle of an housing estate, which it technically is, isn't it? You've got to go through an housing estate to get to the crematorium. You don't have that at Bolton, do you? I know there's a few houses on that lane down there, or Blakely. You don't go through an housing estate to get to the crematorium gate.
But, I mean, I know what you're saying, but the graveyard with a load of more.
The graveyard, yeah. But they bury one person a week in there, at the most, two at the very most.
I don't know, I mean.
That's it, but this is like
I know what you're saying.
half a dozen a day, every day, at least.
Well, that's because they took off the Cemetery Road. They blocked it off. If they hadn't blocked it off, I know what you're saying, they could have gone straight through, they wouldn't have gone through.
But it's created more and more traffic, and just as a very simple thing that just epitomises what Bury Council are like at the moment. Signage. There's no signage for that crematorium anymore. They've got signage up for the bath that's non-existent. They've got signage up for the Civic Hall, but they haven't got any signage for that crematorium. And I have them at my front gate, in my front garden, turning round, because I live right at the very bottom where the farm gate is, at Cams Lane Farm. And they turn round in front of my drive, sometimes bash into my fences, turn round, and they're stopping. Excuse me, do you know where the crematorium is? Now, there was at one time a sign on Cemetery Road, halfway down Greenbank Road, and there used to be one on the lamppost directing you into Greenbank Road. They both come off and they've never put them back. And he decided it 3rd of July, I looked at my calendar, it's 3rd of July I reported these signs. I said, I had run once before, but I didn't make a note of when it was. But this time I wrote it down and I took a number. You know, they give you a registration number, don't you, for your complaint. Purely because they know they're not going to deal with it. So it's just, when you mind us again, you've got this number. So first time I reported was the 3rd of July. I rang again, written it on the calendar, I think it was a fortnight ago. And I still haven't heard anything. So we're now going into 3 months. And I said, I'm sick and tired of people. So I said, it's not good. And there's one woman, I think she wasn't a minister, she was one of these humanists, what they call them, you know, where they're doing the services. She said, I go all over the northwest. She says, I've never known a crematorium. And she said, I go all over the northwest every day, different places, and it's the only place that isn't signposted. What's up with them? I said, well, you're in Radcliffe now. It's a forgotten town. You don't get things like that in Radcliffe. I said, anyway, don't get me going. I said, well, you're going to miss your funeral, you're already late. She potted off then, and when I gave her the directions to get to the crematorium.
Really? It's about bad planning. Yeah. But that's Bury in a nutshell, isn't it?
Can I get the ball started?
Yeah, of course.
Right, first of all, my name's Donald Berry. I don't want to go on an awful lot, so it would go on for hours. But I'll refer you to a Facebook page that I've done. Some of you might have seen it. It's called Radcliffe Greens. And I actually started with the Green Party just going there, and I finished up being a reluctant independent candidate because I was unhappy with the Green Party. I've spoken to a lot of shopkeepers because I used to have a shop in Radcliffe. I've lived in Radcliffe 42 years. I was considered an outsider when I moved here. So I know Radcliffe reasonably well. So I started speaking to the shopkeepers. And just briefly, they were all saying that they had no help or support from the council. One of the things that I found out is that a lot of people that own the properties, the shops, they're not interested in renting them out because they won't do deals, they want very prices. And as you're well aware, a lot of the shops have been empty for years and years and years. So you're talking about tens of thousands of pounds to do up a shop that's going to struggle from day one. Because when I had a shop, it was really hard work because there's no footfall. Since I had the shop, virtually everything has disappeared. Talking to those shopkeepers, there's a problem of crime. I live on Greenbank. Greenbank people will know there's actually been a robbery down there at Christmas time, active. There was no police response until the following day. And all they'd had is a crime number since then. There are 3 shops in Radcliffe, and this doesn't include sort of Asda, that get crime on a daily basis and they get no response from the police. Effectively they say, your own problem.
Is the crime a problem because of the people that live in Radcliffe, or are they coming from outside Radcliffe, the people that are doing it? Do we know?
I really don't know about that.
Well, we wouldn't know because they've never investigated it.
I know police wouldn't know.
I mean, when you look at the crime figures, and again I've published that on my Facebook page, if you look at bicycle thefts, it's virtually non-existent. It's crazy. If you look at shop thefts, Radcliffe East, which is the area that I cover, that is negligible as well over a year. And yet I know of 3 shops that are being robbed daily. And they don't report it because they spend 3 or 4 hours, they've got to have photographs, all sort of information, they spend hours filling in the paperwork and get a crime number and nothing happens. I used to have a shop next to
No,
them.
one of those shops.
I can't tell you because they spoke to me in confidence.
I'll tell you what happened to me. I was in Boots, and this guy went.
You walk out. You walk out.
I went after this guy. I said, I'm after him. Big style. What did he say? Forget it.
Yeah.
Forget it. Don't worry.
Well, that can't continue.
I've got a story about that. When I had a shop in Radcliffe, it was a skate shop on the corner. There was a regular thief that used to walk in, walk out. He managed to get the police. The manager and myself went to one of these lineups, and it was about 3 months later, and it was amazing. It's a glass screen. They were all sat down. They had sheets up to here. The guy had changed all his appearance and everything, and you couldn't make out who it was. The following day, I saw him in Radcliffe walking about, spotted him straight away. It's an absolute joke.
Well, can we do anything about it? Because
Right.
the police are funded by the government rather than local authorities.
No, I'm just saying that, but this is an issue.
Oh yeah,
That's not happening
absolutely.
yet.
Absolutely.
Right. So, again, from that, you start to find out about fly tipping, Pioneer Mill. Again, if you look at my Facebook page, that's a joke. They were doing that daily, burning rubbish and things. They've got CCTV cameras.
Right.
5 brigades go in there virtually daily. And then of course you've got all the fly tipping about. You live near Banana Pathway, Christmas time, there's some rubbish. That's been cleared up by volunteers. I mean, the council are doing things now. Another issue that came to light, and I was amazed when I started my survey, was a massive big parking problem. And it's all down to commuters not wanting to pay and bury. They all come to Radcliffe for the free parking. You can't park.
So why can't they change that? The parking meters in Radcliffe.
Well, apparently, someone told me, I've not been able to find out or confirm it. There's supposed to be a bylaw where you can't charge for parking. So the crazy thing is, a year ago you talked about signs. I reported 4 times to the council, opposite the pet shop in Radcliffe, it's actually, I think, a 2-hour parking. I was told that one shopkeeper took the sign off on his side so that he could park there all day when he's got a car park in the back behind the shop. And the pet shop was saying people can't park at the back because they go to the train station, so he's losing business. He said people can't park on the front to load up the heavy stuff. So I reported this, and it's literally coming up to a year. There's still no sign there saying 2-hour parking. The crazy thing is, if you park in some of the free car parks and you put a tyre on a white line, you'll get a parking ticket. I couldn't believe this, but it's been confirmed several times. I've spoken to market traders, and there were only a few at the time because a lot of them have been driven out, and I've spoken to people that have bought shops. They actually told me when they were doing the market up, they earned more money on the street than in the market. They told me that the council didn't help them. Every time they made a suggestion to improve things, it was kibosh. Those that I spoke to virtually all said in a similar fashion that they were forced out. And it's all down to the cap. I've spoken to people that would like to go into there and trade, and they've been told that they're not the right sort of thing that the market
But
now wants.
how's anybody got the right to tell them it's not the right sort?
Because it's under new
I thought it was
management.
solar market.
That's ridiculous.
It's under new
It's
management.
all private, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Right, you were talking about the building
10
of
years,
things.
isn't it?
Yeah.
10 years.
You'll find that a lot of shops, there's no money in shops. So you'll find that the council actually get extra money, they get like a bonus for reclaiming buildings, brownfield sites for housing. So the
Right.
council are making extra money, but also getting in, obviously,
Yeah.
rates. Yeah? So it's in their interest to promote that. So I think you'll find any old building, any old shop, will be very keen for it to be turned into housing. Obviously, greenfield sites, you've got the issue with flooding and things like that and other issues. But again, they're after rents and rates.
It's just extra money going into
And they will
everything.
use, I think they're actually using that now by saying, well, the site that you were talking about with housing, you
Yeah.
can still put a school on that and other things. And they're
Right.
saying if you get more people in Radcliffe, then you've got a chance of getting a school. You can only get a school effectively if the Conservatives allow it. Because they move the goalpost. You can only have 3 schools. It's got nothing to do with local councillors.
That's got 3
It's
schools
down-
directly with
It's,
the
it's
Department
down
of Education.
effectively to private things. So
Yes.
the council will use this building of new houses on greenfield sites as sort of a tool to say, well, we'll get more kids in so we can build the schools.
The problem is there'll be nowhere left to build the school if you keep building it.
Well, you've still got this problem of flooding. So again, I've looked at it. If you look at Hardy's Gate, it looks brilliant. But there's actually nothing in the way of stopping water from getting from Hardy's Gate into the rivers. Because it's all tarmac. There's virtually no green areas at all. And the same will happen to the other sites. It will be tarmac and it's going straight into the rivers. You've obviously then got the problem with the roads. Because it's not just a matter of getting, I think they're talking about 4,000 properties in Radcliffe, aren't they, at some stage or so? I mean, when I first moved to Radcliffe, I used to work in Trafford Park, and I could go straight through Manchester, and it took me just over half an hour. Now, as you said, sometimes it can take me 20 minutes or half an hour just to go from Greenbank down to the bottom of Ainsworth Road. I'm having to drive all around the place if I want to come and
That's because there's more cars on the road.
Because
More people living
no,
in the
it's
country than
only,
ever.
as it's been said, there's one way in.
Yeah,
You go
there's
down the
one.
road or up the road.
To me,
You go left or right.
There's not, because you've no schools, you have two schools. Because you haven't got schools, kids now are being ferried to and fro,
Yeah.
either in the bus or carriage car.
School holidays, traffic's great. They're not bringing up the roads.
But then, and then you've got, like you said, about people coming from Bolton, Bury and what have you, trying to park in Ratton because there's nowhere for them to park at Bury Metro. There's only a few spaces at Bury Metro, isn't there? anywhere else, the actor park.
All the side streets are rampacked. There was one day I did a survey, there were actually 4 accidents on the side road, people driving. And they actually drive quite dangerously, as you can see they're frustrated, they're trying to park to get the train.
Can we move?
You can move on. Yeah, I just wanted to give you a finger of some of the things that Radcliffe can do.
Everybody here's got gripes about a lot of things. We can either roll our sleeves up and do some that we can affect,
Yes.
or we have to have another group or the whole organisation who becomes either a pressure group to influence current politicians, or we actually put our own people up against them and try and make it roll that way.
Yeah.
The political bit is not going to produce any instant results because there's
No,
not an election for a while.
No.
Now, a lot of things that
There's one this year, local election. It's a rotate.
It's half, half and half. Some of the points you've made, things like crime in the town centre. I've got 2 properties in the town centre. I rent mine out, well I've got one vacant on mine, but they're at a cheaper rent than you'll find anywhere else. London Properties, who have the big properties, they're looking for very prices.
Well, I'll tell you something, I actually phoned them up.
Let's not get distracted.
No, I'm just saying, I phoned them up and asked them had they got property to rent, and they said no. And I know that there's empty
Well, you need
properties.
to go through Malcolm, who's...
I know, yeah. That's who I went through. He said no.
No, they've got pipeline for each property, I don't know. Or
Still
maybe they've got the cram. Well, somebody's moving into one today that used to be the sweet shop. It only shut on Friday. Somebody else is there today. So they are.
So sweet shop used to be in the...
Anyway, criminality. Let's just knock that one on the head. Radcliffe is rife with it. The town centre has quite a lot of drug addicts living around the car park. There's a pub in Radcliffe, and I'm not going to name them because we're on here.
Yeah, it's
A
fine.
pub in Radcliffe who probably transacts more meat than the butcher does. Yeah? Again, Boots, I know is a victim. I don't mind mentioning them because I went and spoke to them. And the assistant manager or manager says, we've asked our head office for a security guard. If they can't be bothered, why should we? You know, I can see Boots closing one early sentence because they can't be making any money.
No.
Because there's more stuff sold out and about.